Metroid Prime, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, Metroid Prime Trilogy, Metroid Prime Hunters, Metroid Prime Federation Force, Metroid Prime Pinball, and of course, after 8 long, painful years, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. As you can imagine, just like a lot of us, I'm still kind of reeling from living in a world where this game is real, it's released, here it is in my hands. Well, the case for the game, because of course the game itself is in my Nintendo Switch 2 currently, but this is something that not only my channel has been building to for 8 years, but my fanship, which, as I explained in my last video, is honestly just more important to me than my YouTube channel and any attention that my videos around Metroid ever get. I love being able to make videos, and I've loved covering the game for so long, even when we knew nothing, and I've always appreciated you guys for even caring what I had to say and kind of coming along this journey with me, the journey of Metroid Prime 4. But now that it's here, just as a fan, it's like I keep holding it like it's the cure to cancer or something. It's like I don't want to let it go. Absolutely insane. So, yeah. Of course, I wanted to make sort of an update video on my progress in the game and what I'm planning to do as far as making like an actual final review of the game or whatever it is I tried to do. And again, in my last video for 20 minutes, I blabbed on about my plans for the game and how I wasn't planning on making a video for many, many days, if not a week, until I beat the game and sat on my thoughts. But also mentioned that after a few days, maybe I find a reason to come on camera and make some kind of a video, like an impressions video or some sort of discussion, if I got inspired to. And it's actually Tuesday, December 9th right now, which means that, including the release day, this is the 6th day that the game has been available to buy and to play. So I, of course, am 6 days into the game, and as some of you have probably also heard me say, I am currently on a 2-week PTO break that I scheduled to coincide with the release of Metroid Prime 4, so I could just have 2 weeks to play the game as often as I want. Maybe I play it twice, maybe I play it and I sit on it, and then I just have more time off of work, because who doesn't need time off of work? I know I sure do, because work has been insane for me for months and months. I've just been drowning in a lot of stress and chaos. And I love my job, and I love the company I work for. I love the people I work with. And so that's just kept me so busy that it's nice to have a 2-week break. So of course, I was going to make it coincide with the release of the most anticipated game of like my entire life. And so I don't really have a plan for this other than to just blab for a few minutes about, like I said, my progress and maybe still some of my plan. So I will say this, you guys. Again, it's been 6 days. I've been playing it a ton. Now, I know that a lot of people have already beaten it. Some people were beating it within the first, 48 hours, which just depresses me, because a game like this, I think, deserves to be savored, and you should take your time. Obviously, that's not how the world works. It's not how gamers think anymore, and especially in a world where playing video games also equals attention and revenue and internet clout, which is one of the worst things about the current era we live in. People even try to go through things faster just to be able to crank out that content, man. How are you going to get paid? Just crank out that content. And, to each their own. Far be it for me to tell anyone how to run their channels or to tell them to be as big of a fan of Metroid as I am, because part of the reason I'm taking my time is because I'm a huge Metroid fan. Other people who've been playing it quickly, they might not be a huge Metroid fan, and at the end of the day, it's just nice to know people are buying and playing the game no matter what. But for me, after 6 days, even though many people beat it within 2 to 3 days, I am still probably about halfway through this adventure, okay? Because even with time off of work and no obligation other than band practice, exercising, spending time with the wife, of course, number one priority always, I clearly have all the time in the world to play the game. But as I said, I am taking my time. And I'd say my longest session has probably been 3 or 4 hours at a time, And I don't know if you guys have ever run into this. This is something I've experienced throughout my whole life as a gamer, which for me is 40 years. 40 years of gaming. I started gaming when I was 3 or 4. And I don't know if this happens to you guys, but I have this uncanny ability. I don't know how it happens. To, when I'm playing a game, if I've played for 6 hours straight, somehow within the game, it will have only been like 2.5 or 3 hours of game time has like been tracked and progress has been made. I don't know how to quantify that for you guys, and I hope that I'm not alone in that, but that definitely happened with Metroid. There was a period in the first couple days where I was like, I'm sure I've gotten about 8 hours into this game. And I looked at it and it said like 2 hours and 47 minutes. And I was like, wait, what? I know I've been playing this way longer than that. But it is what it is. And so either way, I also myself, I do play games slowly as is. Even just regular games that I'm excited to play. So when it comes to this, Metroid Prime 4, the great white buffalo of us Nintendo and Metroid fans for the last 8 years, of course I'm taking my time. I'm scanning everything. I'm looking at everything. I'm finding opportunities to backtrack where I can, and maybe backtracking more than I need to earlier on, just because it's nice to be in this world. And honestly, I'm sad knowing that eventually the game is going to be over. The last time I think I felt like this would have been when Breath of the Wild came out and the Switch 1 launch. I mean, that took me a month, and I remembered putting off the final battle for a while, maybe like a full week, because I was like, I do not want this to be over. I wish there was more to do still. And that's in the game that had so much to do, and I still felt like I wanted more. And so I'm kind of doing that with this game, admittedly, but I'm having a blast, and that's all that matters. So of course, I'm gonna make a review video, probably a few different videos after I finished it, but to give very quick surface level impressions. All right, this is a big deal. This is a momentous moment that I and a lot of us have been waiting for. I will say, very, very surface level, I love the game. I'm obsessed with the game. I'm obsessed with everything within the game. Is it perfect? No. And is it going to be my favorite Metroid or Metroid Prime game? While I'm only halfway through and anything could change by the end, I feel pretty confident saying no. Obviously, it's the best looking Metroid Prime game. It's the best looking Nintendo game ever made. The Switch 2 version, I'm playing in quality mode, 4K 60 frames per second on my big TV in my living room. It's gorgeous. The environments, the music is just mwah! It is so freaking good, the music. Even the lack of music in the desert that some people wanted to create this fake controversy out of, and amiibos and whatever the hell, who cares? The music, the soundscape in the game across the board, and that includes in Soul Valley, the desert, where the soundscape, I think, is very purposely atmospheric and eerie. I think it's all great. But no, I don't see this being my favorite Metroid Prime game. While I wanted to believe that this new game, this third sequel to Metroid Prime, would somehow, after 23 years, become my new favorite Metroid game and favorite Metroid Prime game, surpassing the original, I kind of never really expected it to. And again, halfway through, I think I've got about 10 hours or so logged in the game right now. It's not as amazing as it is. It ain't touching Metroid Prime. You just can't do it, and that's fine. I don't ever need a Metroid game to be better than Metroid Prime. I just love getting Metroid games, and I love spending time with Samus, and this game is allowing me to do that in a beautiful, incredible new Metroid Prime adventure with a new story and a new lore and new characters and all this stuff, and so I'm just very happy to be experiencing that in any way. You know, the desert is controversial and the Viola bike. Is Soul Valley, the desert, like the greatest thing ever? No. Would I change it for a couple of more old school approaches? If I had the choice, yes. But do I dislike it? No, I don't dislike it. It's fun. It works. I enjoy spending some time there. I'm collecting crystals as I go, and I'm depositing them as I go, and I'm having a good time. I love the bike. It's a ton of fun. It controls very well. The combat, it's not very deep, but it's fun, and it works for what it is. And even though the desert is really big, you also move so fast, it doesn't take you more than 60 to 90 seconds to get anywhere. So don't let people spread these bogus lies about, oh, it just takes forever to get around on this dumb bike in this dumb desert. Like, I'm not here to tell you it's perfect, and I'm not even here to tell you that you have to love it, but it's not nearly as bad as all the crap online has been trying to make it sound. So for me, I'm totally fine and totally happy with it, and it's just nice to have something refreshing to the Metroid Prime formula with the desert and the bike. I don't want to spend too much time talking about the finer details, like the Federation troopers, the different environments, which I love. I'm starting to get to the point where real backtracking, standard Metroid Prime and Metroid backtracking is coming into play. Admittedly, it felt like it took a long time for that to start to become part of the journey. And that was something I was like, man, I wish I was doing more of that. But it's starting to happen now, and so I'm getting even more sucked in than I already was. Map layouts early on, some of them are a little bit too feeling corridor heavy. It's one of my least favorite things about Prime 3 that I think has made it into this game in some ways, but it's also, I think, still laid out in a more interesting, fun way than Prime 3 was. And I love Prime 3, so that's, I'm not dissing that game either. The environments I've visited so far, the 3, including the desert, I guess the 4 environments, fantastic. Love it. So much fun. It's doing so many of the Metroid and Metroid Prime classic wonderful things that I love. The psychic abilities are a great addition. 1 or 2 things I would tweak that I'll get into in my final review, but man, am I loving what I'm seeing so far. Getting some upgrades. The elemental ammo beam missile thing, so freaking cool. Loving what they're doing there, and I still have 1 to go. I have 3 of the 4 currently. And so that's where I am as far as my progress. I'm loving the lore and the story that we've been introduced to. I can't wait to get back to more Psylocke stuff. Everything happening with the Lemorn and who they are, how we're introduced to them, the history we're learning through all the scans. Oh my goodness. I just want to eat it up. This is the stuff I love about Metroid. It's not necessarily the story. I've said this before. It's the lore. And the lore in the first half that I've played, great setup. I cannot wait to see where they go with all of it. And like I said, whatever the hell's going to happen with Psylocke and whatever the final boss is, I just can't wait. So the other thing I wanted to touch on to just kind of wrap up this quick sort of update progress video, whatever this thing actually is my plan now for my review or my post-completion videos. I am gathering so many thoughts, you guys. 90% positive, 10%, I don't even know if I would say negative as much as I would say critiques or things that I wish were different or better. But trust me, I'm loving this game, and I know not everyone is. It kind of breaks my heart to see so much division over this game, but at the same time, I'm seeing a lot more love and appreciation, especially in my circle. I'm a Metroid fan who's already just attracted other Metroid fans throughout my 12 years doing YouTube and being on the internet, so maybe that's partly why. The first couple of days, I've been tweeting like crazy about this game, by the way. So follow me on Twitter if you're not, just to hear me and see me tweeting about it. Sharing some of my up-to-the-moment kind of thoughts and progress. First few days, I was sharing nothing but love, and I was seeing nothing but love. Then after a few days, some more negative, shitty things started coming in, and some people are weirdly toxic and hateful about it. Like, look, whether you think the game is mediocre, or even if you just hate it, it's fine. I mean, all opinions are valid as long as they're actually well-intentioned and genuine and not made up for the sake of internet drama, which a lot of it is, admittedly. But man, some people are strange about this game, but I just try not to focus on that. Valid critiques, I'm always down to listen to and be a part. That's fine. No game is perfect except for Metroid Prime 1. This game, as amazing as it is so far, it ain't perfect. And that's okay, though. I never needed or wanted it to be perfect. My favorite games in the world aren't perfect except for Metroid Prime, The Wind Waker, and Resident Evil 4. Those are the 3 perfect games ever made, in my opinion. Well, Super Metroid 2, I guess. And Ocarina of Time. Anyway, the point is, I wasn't seeing a lot of negativity then. Then some of it started coming to me because my Metroid tweets have been getting a lot of attention. They always do. So it gets outside of your bubble, and then the weird, shitty weirdos just start coming in. And they're not like, oh, I don't like it for these reasons. They do and say some weird stuff. Point is, I'm all over the place. Forgive me, guys. My plan once I finish the game. I'm collecting all of these thoughts. Like I said, 90% positive, 10% critiques so far. And so I'm like, can I make a single video that would be a review? I don't know. Because here's the thing, you guys. I'm not a good video game reviewer. I don't have the formula or my ability to consolidate my thoughts all that well. I've only reviewed a handful of video games over the years. Metroid Dread, I made one main video and then like a pseudo part 2 video review for those games. And they got a lot of views and positive reception, so that went well. But at the same time, I'm not very good at that, at least by myself. If I'm talking with people, like with my friends or with my wife or even on a podcast, I could probably do a review of a video game a lot easier with someone to bounce off of. By myself, the way I make a normal conversational video, I don't feel very good at reviewing games. And on top of that, I'm not good at editing. I can't make them very flashy or like high quality like a lot of other people. My good buddy Joey Ferris, he knows his shit. He's such a good producer and editor and a creator of real videos that I don't have the ability to. I also don't have the ability to capture my own footage, so I have to rely on a lot of B-roll from Nintendo trailers, and you guys see it in my videos all the time because that's the only way I can do this. I mean, YouTube, this is all just a hobby on the side. I've not invested a lot in it because it's just been something I've been doing for fun for 12 years, which is why I'm probably going to stop doing it sometime soon after I've covered Metroid Prime 4. So, it's a long way for me to say, I have so much to say, and I don't have a good way of doing it. And I'm not going to script because I'm not good at that either, okay? So, if you guys like watching my videos, you're watching somebody who's admitting he's not good at making YouTube videos, and it is what it is. So, maybe I have to do it in a two-parter. I don't know yet, but I just wanted to lay that out there. Now that I'm halfway through this game, I'm loving it, I'm obsessed, I'm completely absorbed. I'm going to finish and post this video and then go back to playing, because again, I'm not working. I had my workout this morning, I got my coffee right over here, because it's still early, in my Star Wars mug here. Me and my coffee gonna go play some more Metroid Prime 4, and I bet in the next 2 or 3 days, I'm gonna have finished the game. I'll sit on it for a few days. I'll see how my review video comes out as I'm recording it, and I might realize maybe I should make this 2 parts. It's not, again, I talked about this last time, it would not be to milk it. You don't really milk Metroid for content because, like, even though it's the greatest series ever made, in my opinion, and it is very popular, it's not that kind of a franchise. As I said, if you make Fortnite and Pokemon and Mario videos, maybe you could be milking things. You don't milk Metroid, the Metroid franchise, okay? That's not what you do. So I would only do that because I feel like it would be the best way for me to get my thoughts across and not have to make an hour-long video of me by myself, as opposed to a podcast. Which, by the way, fun fact, last night, on Monday the 8th, I actually did record my first podcast on another channel, the Switchheads podcast, which I've been on a couple times. So myself and Joey Ferris, we recorded a podcast where the main topic was Metroid Prime 4 and talking about it, and I believe that'll be posted, I'm pretty sure they post on Wednesdays, so that should be tomorrow. So that's the first time I've had an opportunity to talk with anybody about this game, and it was a lot of fun to do. It's a pretty formatted podcast, so we didn't have unlimited time. I also was on a time crunch myself, because my wife and I had plans, so, you know, we probably only talk about Metroid Prime 4 for 40 minutes of that podcast, when in reality, I think the game deserves 2 or 3 hours of discussion. But that's what it is. Plus, Joey's the only one who's beaten it. The other 3 of us, we're still halfway through our playthrough, so that is what it is. But look for that tomorrow. You know, I'll make sure to share it too. There is going to be a podcast that I had an opportunity to be on to talk about the game so far. So, this is all a long-winded way for me to say I should be beating it in the next handful of days. And then I'm going to see if I can make one initial review video. Then I'll follow up with my breakdowns of the bigger elements of the game that I'm really excited to talk about. But I also might do my review in a 2-parter. So just keep your eyes out. If it's going to be a 2-parter, I'll name the first one Part 1 so that it's obvious. And if not, then maybe somehow I can, in like a 20 to 30 minute video, find a way to give what I feel like is a good review, despite my lack of ability to make quality video game reviews. So, I think that's it. I'm living the dream, baby. I'm so happy right now, you guys. I hope you're happy. I hope you're having so much fun playing the game. If you're somebody disappointed by it or who even hates it outright, that sucks. But it is what it is. You know, no one has to like everything. No game is for everybody. And this is one that for some reason, even at Metacritic, it's at 80, 81. I think it's better than that. Is it a 10 out of 10? No. Is it the best Metroid game? Absolutely not. I think it's way better than an 80. I'm a little biased. I will at least admit that. I know that I'm biased. But even as a Metroid fan, yeah, I can find things about this that I'm like, ooh, I wish it was a little different or better. For sure, I can. But damn, this game is amazing. It is beautiful. It sounds great. It plays great. The bosses are fantastic. And Samus is kicking ass the whole way through, which is all I want out of my Metroid game. So, I'm so happy. Back to more Metroid Prime 4 for me. Thank you guys for watching this little update video. Keep your eyes peeled for my review, maybe by the end of the week or this weekend. We will see. I hope to have this game finished sometime soon. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Keep enjoying and playing Metroid Prime 4 yourselves, and I will see you next time.